I'm Melanie for the Poultry site. I'm here with Chad Gregory. He's the President and CEO of United Egg Producers, and we are in Edinburgh, Scotland for the International Egg Commission Conference. Chad was pulled up today to do another impromptu talk, which seems to happen almost yearly. And today your update was on avian influenza in dairy cattle. So I'm hoping that today you can provide a quick update for our viewers on what you said here today.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Thanks, Melanie, for this opportunity. And always glad to update the international egg community on any updates that are happening in the United States. Unfortunately, the recent HPAI in dairy in the U.S. is a very evolving and serious situation. In speaking with dairy leadership in the last 2 to 3 weeks, they have wondered whether this virus is something that they've been dealing with now for 2 to 3 years. Previously, up until a couple months ago, they had what they were calling a mysterious virus, which was causing the dairy herd to have 10 to 25% less milk production and things like that, and they could never figure out what it was the last couple of years. And then upon some additional testing earlier this year, January, February, they identified that they have a high path avian influenza in dairy herd in Texas. The way the dairy industry works is they grow the small cows on some farms and then they further them out and produce the milk on other farms. And so there was a heifer farm in Texas that was raising heifers and then shipping the heifers all around the United States to then be grown out on dairy farms. And so as of now, there's about 8 to 10 dairy herds in 8 to 10 different states have dairy herds that have tested positive for this HPAI. And I think they're still trying, dairy industry is still trying to figure out how bad this is, how widespread this is, what it means, what they need to do, and things like that.
Do they think it's an evolving or mutating version of the virus?
It's interesting. It's basically the same version that we, the egg industry and the turkey industry in the U.S., have been dealing with the last couple of years. In fact, it's interesting because up until just 3 or 4 weeks ago, we assumed that we were getting HPAI from wild birds or from, our own lack of biosecurity. We may have the last 2 or 3 years been picking it up from some of these dairy farms and vice versa. But this is such a new evolving threat in the U.S. It's something that is very serious. Our White House, our President of the United States, and our Secretary of Agriculture are the ones that are coordinating the messaging of this and the leadership of this. That's how high up it has gotten. In the last 2 weeks, we have had 4 commercial egg farms test positive, 1 in Texas, 3 in Michigan. All 4 farms are really close to positive dairy farms. And it has been confirmed through epidemiology that it is an exact match in genome sequencing from the dairy farm to the egg farms in those states. We believe that at least the Michigan site, that there was a husband and wife. One was working on the dairy farm and one was working on the egg farm. And they think that's how the egg farm in Michigan got it, was this couple that was living together and working on these separate farms. So we suspect, most of us in animal agriculture in the U.S. suspect that it's just a matter of time before the pig industry realizes they have something and test positive for this, as well as beef cattle as well. Like I said, it's an evolving situation. It's incredibly serious, and our White House is coordinating a lot of the efforts now.
Hey, just a last quick comment. You did mention earlier something about working closely with the pig sector and with the beef sector. Can you just let us know what you're doing and how that's evolving as well?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked, because it's one of those things that every day, every week, this thing's growing and maturing, and everybody's getting more curious and connected. And so within the last week, I've been on calls with the CEO of Dairy DMI, Dairy Management Incorporated, and National Milk Producers Federation, and the Cattlemen's Beef Association. And we have decided that we're going to do weekly calls now every Thursday morning. And just in the last couple of days, we've also reached out to the CEO of National Pork Producers Council and National Pork Board to see if they would like to join our weekly calls, and they said they absolutely would. So it'd be the first time really that pigs, beef, dairy, and eggs are working so closely together to try to curb this virus, shut down this virus, and be able to move on afterwards.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay, so then I'm Melanie with the Poultry site, and this is Chad Gregory
Thank
from
you.
United Egg Producers. Thanks so much for your time.